Welcome to MAH News Station. Today we have a special interview with Gregor Johann Mendel, the father of genetics. He will be answering questions for our viewers calling in.
Hello Mendel, how are you doing today?
I'm fine, thank you.
Are you ready to answer questions?
Why did you choose to use the garden pea for your experiment?
Well, the garden pea is special in 3 ways. Its male and female reproductive parts are enclosed in the same flower. Its traits have 2 clearly different forms, and it's small, easy to grow, matures quickly, and produces many offspring.
Good answer. Our next question is from Sean Sims in New York.
I was reading an article on heredity yesterday, and they kept talking about the P generation, the F generation, and the F2 generation. What do those terms mean?
The P generation, or parental generation, is the first 2 individuals that are crossed in a breeding experiment. The F1 generation, or the first filial generation, is the offspring of the P generation, and the F2 generation, or the second filial generation, is the offspring of the F1 generation.
Okay, this next question is from Tim O'Neill in Carolina.
I'm confused. What's the difference between genotype and phenotype?
Genotype is the set of alleles that an individual has for a trait. Phenotype is the physical appearance of a trait and is determined by the genotype.
Our last question is from Charles Smith in Kansas.
My science teacher told me you had 2 laws of heredity. Could you please explain them?
The first one, the law of segregation, states that the 2 alleles for a separate trait separate when gametes are formed. This means that one allele does not affect the other during gamete formation. The other law, the law of independent assortment, states that the alleles of different genes separate independently from one another during gamete formation. This means that traits like plant height do not affect other traits like flower color.
Well, I guess that's it. Thanks for watching.
Here's how to do a basic Punnett square problem. Let's cross a heterozygous purple pea plant with a homozygous receptor. The first step in making a Punnett square is drawing the legend. We will use the letter F to symbolize the alleles. The next step is writing out the problem. We are crossing a heterozygous purple pea plant with a homozygous white pea plant. Now let's do the work. Write the letters on the different sides of the square and cross them. Now, answer the problem by writing down the genotype and the phenotype of the offspring. Move over the different alleles to the genotype and phenotype spaces. Now, write the phenotype according to the genotype. The first one is 2 purples. And the next one is 2 whites. Probability is found by multiplying each parent's probability of giving a certain allele together. In the previous example, the first parent had a 50% chance of passing the recessive allele. The other parent had a 100% chance of passing the allele. So the problem would be like this. 1/2 times 1 equals 1/2, or 50%. Now let's cross a heterozygous parent with a homozygous dominant parent. The homozygous parent has a 50% chance of passing the recessive trait, but the homozygous dominant parent has a 0% chance of passing the trait. This gives it a 0% chance.